ॐ श्रीगणेशाय नमः। श्रीसरस्वत्यै नमः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। वंशी विभूषितकरान्नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरादरुणबिम्बफलाधरोष्ठात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखादरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। अन्तर्यश्च बहिर्विधूततिमिरं ज्योतिर्मयं शाश्वतं स्थानं प्राप्य विराजते विनमताम् अज्ञानमुन्मूलयन्। पश्यन् विश्वमपीदमुल्लसति यो विश्वस्य पारे परः तस्मै श्रीरमणाय लोकगुरवे शोकस्य हन्त्रे नमः। Let us do the Mangalacharana. सत्प्रत्ययाः किन्नु विहाय सन्तम् हृद्येष चिन्तारहितो हृदाख्यः कथं स्मरामस्तममेयमेकम् तस्य स्मृतिस्तत्र दृढैव निष्ठा। मृत्युञ्जयम् मृत्युभयाश्रितानाम् अहं मतिर्मृत्युमुपैति पूर्वम् अथ स्वभावादमृतेषु तेषु कथं पुनर्मृत्युधियोऽवकाशः। We are seeing the text Saddarshanam, in which we had seen that a mind purified by spiritual practices is the best mind fit for inquiry and gains Brahmajnana. Now, what are the paths, what are the inquiries that can be conducted, in which Raman Maharshi started that all the dualities and triads should be given up. How? How to conduct inquiry into the nature of all these dualities, pairs of opposite triads. For the example, with author started that inquiry. How to inquire with examples from verse 12 to 14. Let us chant these verses. द्वन्द्वानि सर्वाण्यखिलस्त्रिपुट्यः किञ्चित् समाश्रित्य विभान्ति वस्तु तन्मार्गणे स्याद्गलितं समस्तं न पश्यतां सञ्चलनं कदापि। विद्या कथं भाति न चेदविद्या विद्यां विना किं प्रविभात्य विद्या। द्वयं च कस्येति विचार्य मूल स्वरूपनिष्ठा परमार्थविद्या। बोद्धारमात्मानमजानतो यो बोधः स किं स्यात् परमार्थबोधः। बोधस्य बोध्यस्य च संश्रयं स्वं विजानतस्तद्वितयं विनश्येत्। निद्रा न विद्या ग्रहणं न विद्या गृह्णाति किञ्चिन्न यथार्थबोधे। निद्रा पदार्थग्रहणेतरा स्यात् चिदेव विद्या विलसन्त्यशून्या. We are seeing the 14th verse. Let us inquire in detail. Now, while inquiring, while going into this verse, we have to be careful. Now, the question that arises in our mind is, now that I have conducted this inquiry into duality and triads, and I have dissolved them, I have removed them, I am not thinking about them. So, dualities and triads have been discarded. But then the question arises, when those end, dualities and triads end, there seems to be absence of everything. Nothing is there. Then what is the reality? Is that absence the reality? Raman Maharshi says, understand. Sleep is not knowledge. Nidra na vidya. Nidra vidya na. Sleep is not knowledge. Grahanam na vidya. Perception. Grahanam, to get something. Acquiring. Here, perception. Perception also isn't knowledge. Yathartha bodhe. Yathartha bodhe, in knowledge as it is. Kinchin na gruhnati. One does not hold anything. One does not perceive anything. Vidya. What is knowledge? Nidra padartha grahane tarasyat. It is other than sleep and perception of objects. So it is neither perception of objects, neither absence of any perception. It is Chideva. It is pure awareness, pure consciousness alone. Vilasanti. That which shines forth and not a shunya. Let us see. Raman Maharshi ji first referred to Nidra, deep sleep. What is deep sleep? Deep sleep is a state in which there is absence of any perception. Okay. We are very much aware of sleep. We all love to sleep. Now, what is sleeping? When we sleep, we either see dreams or we are in a state where we don't perceive even dreams at all. We say, I slept very well. I did not know anything. This is the best and common experience. I slept very well. Why? I did not experience anything. The second part of this phrase is more important. In dream, understand, when the sleep is full of dreams, we are perceiving many dreams, then it's not a happy sleep or peaceful sleep. When we wake up, we are tired. We don't feel that much fresh. We say, I did not sleep very well. I was dreaming a lot. I woke up a lot. Sleep was disturbed. What does it mean? That means our mind was perceiving few things. Mind was not totally quiet and peaceful. Coming back to the topic of sleep, deep sleep is that state where there is no perception at all. That is Sushupti. Yoga Sutras, Patanjali Yoga Sutras, they have defined Nidra, sleep, as Abhava Pratyayalambana Vritti Nidra. What is sleep? In Vedanta, deep sleep or Sushupti, a state where there is continuous or continued experience of absence of objects. The state in which there is continued experience of absence of objects. And when we say objects, object thoughts. No thought is arising in the mind because there is nothing to be experienced outside. Mind is not experiencing anything. So we come to the question, what do we mean by mind is not experiencing? Even though we have seen this earlier, analyzed this earlier, let us see. When I say I am experiencing any object, what has happened? For example, let's take this pen. When I say I am experiencing this pain, I see this pain. What it means is my thoughts or thought modifications, as though they have gone out through eyes, they have enveloped this object, gone back in, and they have formed a thought in my mind conforming to the shape, name, etc. of this object, which is corroborated by, ascertained by other faculties of mind, and by then I know that this object which I am seeing is pen, this is pen. Therefore, when I am experiencing anything, the object thought or any thought modification conforming to that object, Vishaya, takes place in my mind. What happens in dream and waking is, in dream, the objects outside are created, produced by my mind itself. Mind itself creates many objects outside, thoughts outside. Not outside, but within mind itself. And those objects are perceived. Therefore, it is total mental projection. Total mental projection. That means there is some perception, form of perception in dream. Objects are being perceived, thought conforming to those objects is taking place. There is something, I am experiencer, I am experiencing so many things, are the thoughts which are forming in our mind, in my mind, so and so forth. Now, in waking state, this was about dream. What was experienced was dream objects. In waking, we are experiencing the waking world outside. The waking world outside is being experienced by us. And again, only when thoughts conforming to those objects outside are forming in my mind, I experience them. In conclusion, in waking and dream, I experience objects outside. Therefore, I am experiencing presence of objects. So I am experiencing presence of objects. Let us keep it aside. But in deep sleep, all sense perceptions, all faculties, all instruments that provide us these knowledge or knowledges have gone into laya, undergone dissolution. All senses have stopped functioning. That's why it is sleep. Mind, which was available, awake in dream, also has gone into laya, dissolution in its swarupa, that is Atma, Chaitanya, or other way around, Prakriti. Now, when everything has everything has gone into laya, undergone dissolution, if there are no faculties that can make me experience anything outside, can there be any experienced object? Can there be anything which is experienced? For which the answer is no. Now, even though I am not experiencing anything, the absence of everything is being experienced. That is abhava. Abhava, the absence. And experience of absence of everything, this is not knowledge. Raman Maharshi is saying, non-perception of objects is the continuous experience of deep sleep, and this is not knowledge. Nidra na vidya. Wait. How do I know that there was absence of everything? I think there was nothing at all. Nothing was there. Let us accept what you say as true. In wake up, in waking state there is waking world. In dream state there is dream world. But in deep sleep state there is nothing at all. To say that in dream there is nothing at all, who was the experiencer? Who experienced the object, absence of objects? That is the question. Understand. Total absence of waking world and dream world. Is that absence is there in deep sleep, but when we wake up, we say, I slept very well, I did not know anything. What it means is simple. I, as experiencer, was there, was present in deep sleep, yet I was not experiencing anything. Because I was there in deep sleep, I could say after waking up, I slept very well, I did not know anything, I did not experience anything. That means as an experiencer, I was there, but I was not actively participating in any experience at all. Coming back to dream state and waking state. In dream state, the objects are projected by mind, and in waking state, the external objects themselves are being perceived. Now, perception of all these, such perceptions, these are very much useful. These are required for the transactional reality, our activities, day-to-day functions, etc. But they are not knowledge. Grahanam na vidya. That also is not knowledge. Raman Maharshi ji says, Nidra na vidya, grahanam na vidya, meaning the perception of objects or the absence of experience, both are not vidya. That is not knowledge. But in all three states, the knower I has remained constant. The knower I was there in waking, or I am right now in waking, I was there in deep sleep, I was in dream state. So I was common, present, existent through all three states, even though all these three states are absent in each other. Deep sleep is not in waking, waking is not in deep sleep is not in dream, dream is not in deep sleep, waking is not in dream, dream is not in waking. If any pair has been left out, you can fill that up. Raman Maharshi continues further. He says, Yathartha bodhe. True knowledge is other than sleep and perception of objects. Grihnati kinchinna yathartha bodhe. When Yathartha Bodha, the experience of one's own true self, has been gained. A Jivan Mukta, realized master, realized sage, Rishi person, having known his true nature, Kinchinna Grushnati, does not experience anything. What it means is he does not experience the world the way we as ignorant people perceive. Grihnati kinchinna yathartha bodhe. What do you mean? Let us say a very short example. The similar example is going to come further in next verse. But understand, when we take some gold ornaments to smelt them, to melt them, create different ornaments, or to sell the gold. When we go to the goldsmith or shopkeeper and tell them, I want to sell all these ornaments, whatever the shape, size, color of those ornaments, what that shopkeeper, what the goldsmith is concerned with is the gold in those ornaments and not the shape, color, size. All that he is concerned with that is the gold, amount of gold in that. That's it. If there is enough gold, the amount of gold will be converted into rupees or the money and it will be given to you. That's it. Therefore, even though the objects are in front, for goldsmith, those are not objects, those are not ornaments, but it is gold. In the same way, for realized masters, when they look at this world, it is not the world as we perceive, but it is Chaitanya, pure awareness, consciousness, principle for them. Then how do they act? How do they do transactions in the world? It is called by Badhitanuvritti, or because the mind or body has got used to it because of purva samskara, prior impressions, past impressions. We will keep it to that only. Further, Raman Maharshi ji says, therefore, such a state where nidra padartha grahane tarasyat. True knowledge is that which is other than sleep and perception of objects, that is absence and perception of objects. Anyadev tadviditat atho aviditadadhi. Kenopanishad says that is different than known and unknown. That because of which the presence and absence both stay, are there, are existent. That is pure awareness, consciousness principle. Therefore, awareness alone, that Chaitanya, Chideva Vidya, that awareness, pure consciousness principle alone is knowledge, that which shines forth, Vilasanti, shining, and not void, not the absence. Such a state where the knowledge shines, that ever shining knowledge is there, that is definitely not absence or darkness or abhava. Okay. The pure awareness consciousness principle is of the nature of knowledge. Yes. Is it not? It is not. Is it not the knowledge principle? Yes, it is knowledge principle. And knowledge of objects takes place. So I know objects. Yes. What is the relation between them? What is the relation between knowledge principle and knowledge of objects? Raman Maharshi is explaining. 15th verse. सत्यश्चिदात्मा विविधाकृतिश्चित् सिद्ध्येत् पृथक् सत्यचितो न भिन्ना भूषा विकाराः किमु सन्ति सत्यं विना सुवर्णं पृथगत्र लोके. Raman Maharshi ji is saying, Satyaha Chidatma. Chid Atma Satyaha. Satyaha is the truth. Chidatma, the consciousness that is the self. The pure consciousness principle is truth. Vividhakritihi chit satyachitaha bhinnaha. Prathak na siddhyeta. Vividhakritihi the chit, Chaitanya, knowledge which is appearing in different forms, shapes, etc. Satyachitaha, different, bhinnaha, different from pure consciousness principle, pure knowledge awareness principle. Pruthak na siddhyeta, cannot be proved, cannot be accomplished, cannot exist without that pure consciousness principle or separately from that. Loke, in the world, atra, suvarnam vina, in the world here, suvarnam vina, without gold. Bhusha vikaraha satyam kimu santi. Do ornaments made up of gold exist without gold? No. Raman Maharshi ji is saying the consciousness, pure consciousness as in the pure awareness principle, pure knowledge principle is the self, it is the truth. The knowledge which is of various forms is neither different, it is not different, nor can it exist without consciousness. Here in the world, can gold ornaments exist without gold? That's what Raman Maharshi is saying. Raman Maharshi is saying the knowledge of various forms can neither exist without or can be known without consciousness awareness principle. That is the relation. Let's see. Prakritiseti vijneya swabhavam na jahatiya. The context there originally is different, but a quality does not leave qualified. If it cannot exist without qualified. For example, show me red color without any red colored object. You may say the sky. Yes, the sky is red. Is it not? Good. What good? A good person, a good drawing, a good poem. What? Again, it is a relative term, but it always refers to certain object. Raman Maharshi is saying the consciousness that is the self is the truth. Satyaha chit atma. Satchidananda. That which is consciousness knowledge principle, that alone is existence principle. The fire, example certain. Let's take a few examples. The fire is of nature of heat and light. Heat cannot be without light. Or light cannot be totally without heat. Now here heat you have to understand not 25 degree, 40 degree, 100 degree, etc. Because there are fires which are cold. Because their temperature, they burn at very low temperature. But that is not the point. Heat as in exothermic reaction, you can say. Heat is being produced, is given out. Keeping the scientific terminology aside, let us take the normal fire that we know. It produces light also and heat also. Can we separate heat and light from that? Like that fire, those flames? No. We may have transfer of heat without flames, but with flames you get light also and heat also. In the same way, existence and knowledge principle. It is not, these are not the two qualities of a thing, or these are not two independent things with those certain qualities. There is not one thing which is of the nature of existence and other one of the nature of knowledge. No, there is only one thing which is existence also and consciousness also, existence also, knowledge principle also. How do you say so? Simple. Does, let us say, does this exist? Yes. How? How do you know? How can you say this exists? Because I see this thing. So for existence to be there, it has to be known. Otherwise, it is not existence, it is not non-existence. For object, for anything to exist, existence. Now imagine existence, a quality separately from the object. Think of it as an independent object. Can existence really be there? Can existence be there as a quality, something? No. How can it not be there? It is there, yes. It is there only when it is known. So existence needs to be known. So something, when it is existing, it is known also. It is being known, it is existing. For knowledge to be known, it has to exist. When I say I know something, that means that knowledge is there. Its existence can be proved. Therefore, if knowledge principle was independent, it would not exist. And if existence was independent, it would not be known. Therefore, they are not two different qualities of two different things. It is one and the same thing, which is itself existence also and consciousness also. The existence and consciousness or knowledge principle, the existence principle and knowledge principle is one and the same, and existence, consciousness, existence, awareness, existence, knowledge, these are not qualities or attributes of something, but it is nature of that thing, the self. The self is not just existence or just knowledge, it is both. The both, these both, knowledge and existence, are the nature of self. And when it is its nature, it cannot be separated from it. The self cannot be separated from existence and consciousness. How? For which the next example has been given. Bhusha vikara kimusanti satyam vinasuvarnam prathagatra loke. Coming to one point earlier, Existence cannot be without knowledge, knowledge cannot be without existence, and this can be very much proven by, as we saw with this example. Oh, why, how can I know this thing? Because knowledge of this object exists, and this object exists because I know it. That's all. Therefore, in second word, siddhet pruthak satyachitona bhinnaha. The existence of various objects cannot be without the knowledge principle, without knowledge of those objects. But in conclusion, Raman Maharshi is giving an example. He's saying, Vina Suvarnam, without gold, can gold ornaments be there? No, they cannot. Let us understand what the example is. Gold ornaments have different names and forms, shapes, etc. It can be ring, bracelet, armband, necklace, crown, earrings, many things. Gold ornaments are not worn below waist. It is the it is disgrace to that thing. It is its dishonor. So it is not allowed in a way. Should not be worn. Anyways, keeping that aside, different gold ornaments made up of gold have different names, shapes, sizes, weight, etc. But one thing which is common in all of them is, let name and form of those objects be many, let the weight be different, all of them are nothing but gold. All of them are nothing but gold. Without gold, no single ornament would exist. Without gold, no single ornament would exist. Gold itself is appearing in different names and forms. I can pick up any object, any ornament and say, oh, this is gold, and it will be true. All are nothing but gold and gold alone. So all these names and forms of gold are nothing but gold. In the same way, existence and consciousness alone, existence and consciousness principle alone, the self alone is experienced as knowledge or thought modifications in the world of plurality. That self alone has as though undergone modification and is appearing in all the different things which are in front of me, which I am experiencing. In reality, when the plurality is being experienced, when the objects in front of me are being experienced, what I am experiencing is nothing but the knowledge principle because of which those objects are being known, and the existence of those objects because of which is because of the existence principle. The only difference is what I am looking at. What is my vision? Is it a vision of truth or something else? So seeing everything as pure existence, pure consciousness principle is the true vision. Just as without gold ornaments cannot be there. Without existence, consciousness principle, the experiences in the world cannot be there. Oh, does that mean the other things do exist? And if they exist, what do I have to do with them? Raman Maharshi is giving answer. Raman Maharshi is further explaining. Very beautiful verse. तद्युष्मदोरस्मदि सम्प्रतिष्ठा तस्मिन् विनष्टे स्मदिमूलबोधात् त्यज्युष्मदस्मन्मतिवर्जितैका स्थितिर्ज्वलन्ती सहजात्मनः स्यात्. Yushmad, Asmad are pronouns. But rather than declining those pronouns themselves have been used as words. And by doing so, Raman Maharshi ji is trying to indicate a group or certain thing. What is it? Let us see. Raman Maharshi ji is saying, 16th verse, Tad Yushmadoho. Tad and Yushmad. Tad is that. And Yushmad is you, referring to thou. Anything that is referring to you. Asmadi, in I. Asmadi, in I. Sampratishtha. They have their firm basis. They abide in. Tasmin vinashte. Tasmin asmadi vinashte. Mulabodhat. Or take it Mulabodhat. Tasmin asmadi vinashte. Mulabodhat from the knowledge of their origin. Of Tad, Asmad, I, etc. by knowledge of their origin. Tasmin Asmadi vinashte, when that I has perished. Asmadi vinashte sati, when the I, because of which Tad Yushmad were there, that I has perished. Tad Yushmad Asmad Mati Varjitaika. Tad Yushmad Asmad Mati Varjitaika. Tad Yushmad Asmad Mati Varjita Eka. The one without the thought of Tad, that, Yushmad, you, Asmad, I. Mati, mind, intellect, thought. Atmanaha sahaja sthitihi, the natural, the simplest state of Atma, self, oneself. Jwalanti syat, that is shining, that is bright. Syat, will emerge, will be there. What is it? Let us see. Very simple, very beautiful verse. Raman Maharshi ji, the general meaning is that, and you are firmly based in I, aham. From the knowledge of their origin, by knowing the origin of I, that and you, the I has perished. When I know its origin, when I know its root, when the I has perished, for the one who has no notion that you, that, and I is there, where you, that, I all have dissolved, perished, that is the natural state of oneself which is shining, which it will emerge. Raman Maharshi is saying that you, I. What does it mean? Simple. Raman Maharshi is using grammar to identify objects, etc. Any object which is far away from me, which cannot be experienced by me directly, is referred to as that. Anything which is in third person, it is referred to as that, or he, she, etc. Therefore, that which is paroksha, which cannot be directly perceived by me right now, is referred to as that person. That referring to he or she. When it is said tvam, you, when it is said you, what comes? When it is said you, it is referring to directly perceived entity which is in front of me. and I is the very basis, that is I, the first person. Now this I is the basis for Tad and Yushmad, that and you. If that I is not there, you and that also are not there. But without that and you, this I can be there. Therefore, I is the root, I is the starting point for Yushmad and Tad. And this I alone is the center of my world. In the beginning of Adhyasa Bhashya, Adhyasa Bhashya is introductory portion or introduction to Brahma Sutra Bhashya, written by, composed by Adi Shankaracharya ji. Not Brahma Sutra has not been composed by Adi Shankaracharya ji, but the Bhashya on that. So Raman Maharshi ji is referring to that beginning. He is indicating that beginning itself. There it is said, युष्मदस्मत् प्रत्यय गोचरयोः विषय विषयिणोः तमः प्रकाशात् विरुद्ध धर्म स्वभावयोः etc. युष्मद अस्मद, you and I, anything that is referring to me, I, and if anything and everything which is different from me, I, is the thing. So I is always the center. Everything starts from this I, but the self, that is my own true nature, is the root of this ahankara. Everything has its relations pointing towards this self. But at transactional level, everything starts with this I, ahankara. And with reference to this I, that and you comes or arises. Idamastu sannikrishte, etc. The verse goes, there it has been indicated, tad is referring to something which is distant. That's why I said earlier, paroksha. When I say distant, distant can be either distant in time, place, or object. That which happened yesterday, past, distant in time. That there, where in the other room or 5 kilometers away. Distance, that is different place. So that which is not being directly perceived is referred to as that. So anything and everything which is not being directly perceived by me is included by tad. What is being directly perceived by me is yushmad, you, the second person, with which I am transacting, with which I am doing some activity, etc. The transaction is taking place. All of these are because of this I ahankara. This I alone gives existence or rise to this, that, and you. But this I never becomes that or you. But this I itself is not self-existence existent. This I also undergoes dissolution in deep sleep. Even though tad and you, that is tad, that, and yushmad, you, are because of this I, aham. This I, aham, ahankara, identification with this body, etc., is not self-sustaining self-existence. When I inquire into the root of this I, from where this I has come, this I also disappears. And when this I also disappears, tasmin vinashte Asmadi Mula Bodhat. Asmadi Mula Bodhat. When the origin of this I, the self, the root of this I, Ahankara, the self, when that self is known, Tasmin Vinashte. This I will no longer be there, and because this I as Ahankara is no longer there, that Yushmad and Tad also will go away. And when Yushmad Asmat has gone away, that means all perceptions, whether distant or closer, direct perceptions or indirect perceptions, all have gone away. What happens is Tad Yushmadasman Mativarjitaika. The notion or the idea, the intellect, without the notions I, you, and that, in the state where these notions I, that, you are no longer there, in that state, then I alone shines in its true glory, or the self alone shines in its true glory. Sthitirjwalanti sahajatmanasyat. And he shines by itself without any obstructions, just like that, by himself. It does not need any support or any help. That self will shine forth when all the obstructions have gone away. Tadyushmado Rasmadi Sampratishta. Raman Maharshi is explaining with this verse that and you are dependent on I, Ahankara. When the root of this Ahankara, from where this Ahankara is coming, when it is inquired, the Ahankara also will go away. And when Ahankara goes away, Tad Yushmad, they also will go away. When Tad Yushmad, that you, all those things have gone away, that means no experience of objects is taking place, and in such a mind, the self will shine forth in its true nature by itself. After this, Raman Maharshi is going to think about different things, and he is going to begin inquiry by thinking about time. But that inquiry we will do in next class, next time. Om असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम